Why did I start playing hockey?
For the thrill of my first goal.
For the feel of the skates laced tight against my feet.
For the chill of the air at 6 a.m. games.
For the hockey sticks under the Christmas tree.
For the energy, the rivalries.
For the chance to win it all with my best friends.
We've been waiting for something like this since we were kids.
We've seen it live on TV and never thought it could be us.
We've dreamed of playing the sport we love under the open sky.
Under the lights.
In front of thousands.
But this game isn't just about us. This one is for the growth of hockey in North Carolina.
The opportunity for kids like us to make a statement here in Raleighwood. Because this game means everything to those kids.
To those fans.
To those legacies.
To our younger selves.
To our dreams finally coming true.
To inspire the next generation of hockey players.
So when the going gets tough, we have to remember.
We have to remember.
We have to remember.
When the going gets tough,
we have to remember
why we started.
Now this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The wolf that shall keep it may prosper, the wolf that shall break it must die.
This is looking like a very different Icepack team this year. So much of the old core has moved on, and this team has more questions than answers. Will they be able to five-peat the ACC title and continue their quest for the national championship?
As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back.
It is finally here. NC State and North Carolina on the ice at Carter-Finley Stadium. Frozen Finley, they're calling it. Chris Lehman and Joey Bianconi with you here on Pack TV as you get a look at the NC State Icepack, ready to take the ice for the first period. It's going to be an exciting game. We've been waiting a long time for this, Joey, and it is finally time to watch some outdoor college hockey in Raleigh, North Carolina.
After such a great weekend, the Canes knocking off the Caps, the Fan Fest, everything that's gone on here on the ice, finally culminating to the end. Icepack versus Tar Heels under the lights at Carter-Finley. It's going to be a great one.
One thing that's been talked about leading up to this weekend and the events that ensued was the support for the hockey community here in Raleigh, North Carolina, how it has grown with the success of the Hurricanes over the last few years. I'm not sure anything, even 57,000 fans here for an NHL game, proves that more than this crowd we have here for a club college hockey game. I think it's worth reminding people this is not a varsity sanctioned sport. This is not NCAA Division I hockey. This is ACHA Division II hockey, and we're looking at about 15,000 people here to witness it.
It's absolutely crazy just to have the amount of people here that we do, and there's still people even coming in. There's traffic backed out to everywhere on the ends of the stadium here. It's just absolutely incredible to see the fan support, the turnout for both of these teams, and I'm sure eyes are going to be turned by NC State Athletics looking at this team. You got to think they're going to put out a good performance tonight.
Yeah, and the crowd is it continues to grow. And, having grown up here in Raleigh, having played youth hockey around here, watched this program developed as a student at NC State. It is so great to see the support for both of these teams and how it has grown. If you had told me before I graduated back in mid-2016, I guess would be the year exactly, that we'd have an outdoor game at Carter-Finley and you'd have 15 to 20,000 people here to watch it, I wouldn't have believed it.
You know, I even think the PNC games are just absolutely incredible. When I joined the commentary team for the Icepack 2 years ago, I didn't expect to be in PNC Arena, but it's happened twice since I've been here, let alone inside Carter-Finley Stadium with an NHL-sponsored event, Stadium Series. Both of these teams coming out here to play in front of a crowd like this, I just never would have imagined it.
Well, I think one thing to talk about here, too, is the matchup. This is going to be a good matchup. You look at, 4 or 5 years ago, this North Carolina team wasn't where it is right now. They're one of the best teams in the ACCHL. For the second consecutive year, they've earned a berth into the regionals at the ACHA Division II level. And they've beaten the Icepack 3 out of 4 times so far. So this is going to be a great matchup. No game's been decided by more than 2 goals. This should be an excellent atmosphere and an even better game.
And this isn't even the last matchup for these two teams this year. They play each other in regionals just about a week away. So it's just like a warm-up game for them, really. But they're inside this big, massive stadium that football games usually get played in.
Yeah, and when you take all that and put it together, the fact that this is their 5th meeting, they're probably trying to set the tone for regionals this upcoming weekend. It's going to be intense. Plus, you got the atmosphere and the setting. This all comes together for what should be a really fiery and fun hockey game as we get a look at our starting lineup for the Icepack. Matt Miller, Garrett Arini, as well as Alex Robinson out there with Victor Hugo and Ricky Frosch, and it'll be Eric Daniel in the nets.
I'm really looking forward to see Matt Miller play. He's got 13 goals on the season, 28 points total, the point leader for the Icepack. It's going to be a great one to see him come out and lead this team to start this game.
Well, I think Eric Daniel is going to be a key role in this one as well. When the Tar Heels get going, their forecheck makes it really hard to get out of your zone and create some good chances. So it's going to be up to Daniel to make things happen. Looks like they'll come into the blue lines as we get set for the ceremonial puck drop from none other than Chancellor Randy Woodson.
The leader of North Carolina's largest university, North Carolina State's 14th Chancellor, Randy Woodson. Thank you, Chancellor Woodson.
Well, we've been talking about a lot of firsts. Here's another first. Mr. or Miss Wolf on ice skates. When have you seen that before?
I've seen them at Icepack games before, but never on ice skates. They're always just out behind the boards, but that's just absolutely awesome to see.
Now the Power Sound of the South, the NC State Marching Band, will play the national anthem for us. And you hear it there at the end of the anthem, that Wolfpack chant. if they aren't ready for hockey, I don't know who is.
You know, it's going to be tough for the UNC Tar Heels coming in here, too, to rival territory in Carter-Finley Stadium. It's always a rough time for them coming in here, apparently, but a lot of Icepack fans, a lot of NC State Wolfpack fans that may or may not have been to an Icepack game before coming out here, so maybe they're going to get hooked on this one.
Oh, and you mentioned Matt Miller there just a couple minutes ago. Who else on this Icepack team are you looking at to make a difference here in the stadiums?
You know, the Robinson brothers, of course, they're so dynamic. Zach Robinson's so fast. Again, the other Zach Herman, you'll see him streaking down the right side of the ice, just blowing by defenders. It's just awesome to see him, a first-year skater for the Icepack, do that. On the defensive side, I mean, that top line, Victor Hugo, Jackson Cowan have been solid all year. So this is definitely the grandest stage all these players have ever played on. The nerves are going to be going, but I think we're in for a treat tonight.
There's a lot of firepower on that other side as well for the North Carolina Tar Heels. You'll get freshman Patrick O'Shaughnessy out of Greensboro, North Carolina, one of the top-scoring freshmen in the ACHA for all divisions in the country. He's just one of them. Henry Foster, the captain that you see right there, he'll be out on the ice to start the game. He's one of the catalysts for this team as well, and we're going to get a look at a guy that we haven't seen much of in net for the Tar Heels. Eric Daniel certainly has played plenty on the Icepack side, but Lucas Brown, the freshman out of Raleigh, New York, head coach Jeff Volkman, very happy with his development over the course of the season so far, and he'll get the first half of this game.
Yeah, and you know, Icepack players are used to seeing Joel Hughes, the ex-military guy, the big guy in net. It's almost impossible to get pucks by him, but Lucas Brown's going to be a different look for this team.
And we're off and running here at Frozen Finley. Icepack steal it off the opening draw. They'll put pressure on in the offensive zone. Stuck around the top of the circles. It squirts loose to the near side. Here come the Tar Heels right down the middle. Quick chance early, in on goal. They score! It only took 18 seconds, and the Tar Heels off and running. Looks like it's going to be number 77, Dano here, who split through the defense.
Yeah, just a breakdown defensively by the Icepack. Just let Dano here squirt right up through the middle. Goes top shelf on Daniel, snipes the water bottle off. And UNC off to a quick start here, 18 seconds into the game.
A lot of energy from both sides to start. NC State just about had a good chance of their own at the other end. We'll see how they bounce back. O'Hare in control off the draw for the Tar Heels. He'll force it down that left wing and chip it deep. Gets to it behind the net. Right back out in front. Circling with it, Foster. Back up to the blue line. Wrist shot coming. That's blocked. Here's a chance for the Icepack. A lot of speed here for Herman. He's going to blow by the defense, and he goes, and we're tied. Just over a minute later, 1-1. Herman on the breakaway.
What a treat we're treated to here. And it's like I just said, Herman on that right side. So much speed gets behind the UNC defense. This place is electric. Waves to the crowd there. We'll take a look at the replay. Just look at that. Nice defensive play by the Icepack. Then Herman up the right side, just uses his pure speed to get by the UNC defense, puts the one to the left of Lucas Brown, and we have a 1-1 game here, just under a minute played. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, good defensive work at the blue line by NC State there to create that turnover. And worst place to lose the puck is at one of the blue lines. And NC State made the Tar Heels pay. We'll see if things settle down here as we get into the second minute of play.
18 seconds into the first period. Tar Heels, O'Hare.
The nerves got to be going for both of these teams. One shot each, one goal each.
Tar Heels back on the attack. Worked into the near corner. Scooped up there by the Tar Heels. Worked around to the near side. It's stolen away by NC State. Robinson. Looking to the far side for Emery Oliver, who swipes it deep. Icepack going to go in on the forecheck. Good work there by Robinson. Moves it to the middle. Oliver fans on the shot. Still loose in the slot. They'll swat it behind the goal. It's Robinson again. He'll move it around. Alex Robinson dispossessed. It works all the way out into neutral ice. NC State sends it right back in. First one to it is an Icepack player. That's number 7 in Zach Robinson, who's dispossessed, and here come the Tar Heels. Quick shot. Noah Friedman with the try there, and easy glove save for Daniel, who will squeeze for the faceoff.
Notice how Eric Daniel still playing with the beanie on. Nice addition to his goalie mask.
It's outdoor game. You got to have.
Yeah, of course. And this isn't an official ACCHL game, by the way, so I'm sure they really don't have to follow the rules if they didn't want to. They're going to play legitly, but as you see Eric Daniel with the beanie on, they're allowing him to do it.
Ricky Frosch moves it around for the Icepack off the draw. Harini trying to swat it out. Clogged up by the Tar Heels. It does make it to the red line. But North Carolina tries to send it in. It's ping-ponged back up the ice by NC State. They'll get in on the forecheck. Go here. Skate to stick, looking forward. Finds Leighton Walsh. He's got some space moving in, and he can't get it to the middle. Swatted back out in front, loose in the crease. They have a couple tries at it, and Daniel with his pads on the ice makes the save. Along the half wall now. Squirts loose to Frosch. He'll go D to D. Luke Jajelski. Back across for Frosch. He'll advance it along for Matt Miller. He's clogged up as he gets into the offensive end. Tar Heels send it right back off the glass, but Miller holds the zone. Backhand pass for Frosch. Top of the circle, takes the shot, hit a man in front. Two big saves there from Brown. It'll be Hugo keeping the zone, though, for NC State. Banks it back behind the net. Good pressure here from the Icepack. Now it's Philip Bailey. Puck on edge in that far corner. He'll send it up the wall. Hugo receives the D-to-D pass. Low wrist shot. Hit a body on the way in. Tar Heels with it. Swatted back up to the blue line, but all the way out. NC State with good pressure and possession here.
That was a nice shift by the NC State offense. A couple shots in on Brown, trying to loosen him up a little bit. But the UNC defense will pick that one back up.
Here come the Tar Heels. They'll move it forward. Baglia chips and chases. He'll be the first to it in that far corner. Cycles behind the net. Looking back up top for Zach Mangle. They can't connect. And it'll be chipped into neutral ice where Jack Gleason can clear it back in. Daniel sets it on a tee. Icepack cleared out to the neutral zone once again. Gleason will backtrack with it. Looking up the near side, unable to connect with Sam Ives. NC State back in control. You hear the crowd trying to urge on this NC State team. Two really early goals for these two teams. And we're tied at 1. Settled down since then. But NC State certainly controlling the puck right now. A little bit extra speed here. Hugo looking to the middle, right through the skates of the defenseman Magan. And it'll work all the way up to the blue line. Swatted right back in by McInerney. Tar Heels looking to clear. Ives there in a one-on-one battle. It'll be knocked back to Magan. And now the Tar Heels able to clear it up and out. This one chipped in. That'll negate the icing as it was across the red line already. But NC State possesses and lifts it out again. Now Zajic looking up that near side wall. NC State just not giving a lot of space in the neutral zone right now. They'll send it deep. Tar Heels able to break it out. Patrick O'Shaughnessy, we mentioned him before the game as a dangerous man on the offensive end. Good forecheck from the Tar Heels. Couple of Icepack players there. Over to the far corner goes Emery Oliver. He'll clear it out of play and we'll get a stoppage.
You know, O'Shaughnessy, this isn't the first time he's attracting NHL attention. That incredible goal that went all over social media. Were you there for that one, Chris? Did you call that one?
Oh yeah, that was a fantastic goal. It looked like Alex Ovechkin's goal a little bit from way back in the day, but just an incredible, incredible move and just no quit. And it shows you the talent that he has as a freshman. Icepack fans are going to be scared of him for a few more years. Off the draw, pops up in the air. Frosch gloves it down, and looks like they're going to rule a hand pass. And we'll just do it all over again with the faceoff.
Yeah, after the quick start for both teams, a lot of back and forth play between the neutral zone. Not too many shots on net right now. We'll see if both teams can change that as Daniel's just going to come out of the crease to cover that one.
Yeah, fan shot there from the Tar Heels off the draw. It was Dan O'Hear, who you see there in the middle of the screen, who had the chance. But these goalies, I think they'd like to see a couple more shots just to get them into the game. Tar Heels chip it into the near corner off the faceoff. Swatted around by O'Hear to the far corner. Chasing it down for NC State was Frosch, and it'll be knocked out of play. So Eric Daniel, you get a look at him up close. Had to make a couple of saves in tight after giving up that early goal, but a nice bounce back for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daniel's part of the goaltending tandem that NC State has, along with Isaac Toyer. Both of them played about the same this year. 13 games for Daniel, 15 for Toyer. Daniel with a 4-7-1 record with over a .900 save percentage.
Clearance blocked down along the boards by North Carolina. NC State, though, able to maintain control of the puck. Worked back to the D. Jackson Cowan around the wall for Victor Hugo. He'll send it up the boards for Matt Miller. They'll break it out. A little bit of speed here for the Icepack. Dipsy doodling in, spinning shot, twirled wide by Philip Bailey. And now North Carolina can take control. Chris Lehman, Joey Bianconi with you for what has already been a fantastic start to this hockey game. Here's a chance. Shot just wide by Bailey. Had a man on the far side. I believe that was Arini. Just couldn't get the pass through and elected to take the shot. Tar Heels move it back the other way in transition. In front, loose, bouncing puck, trickled just wide of the near post. Daniel had some trouble with that puck up on edge, and now the Tar Heels can go on the attack. Henry Foster swats it deep. Patrick O'Shaughnessy to it. He'll move it along. North Carolina with another chance, whistled wide over top of the net by Misha Sabodin. He's back in control behind the net. Turning around with it, leaves it in the corner and gets it right back along the hashes. Good possession time here for North Carolina. They're being stuck to the outside, though. Now they get to the middle. Sabodin dispossessed before he could get the shot away, and NC State clears.
Yeah, nice defensive plays by NC State there, highlighted by Eric Daniel coming out of the crease, playing aggressive and not letting the Tar Heels get a dangerous opportunity at him.
This one cleared down the ice, no icing. Tar Heels get to it, swipe it right back up. Plenty of space in the neutral zone. Speed for Mahan down that left wing. He'll be forced into the corner and knocked off the puck. NC State breaks it out. Can't connect on the pass, though. And Jack Gleason sends it right back in for the Tar Heels. Icepack again looking to break it out. Pass sent to the middle by Luke Weichel. And NC State will have to regroup. Bressingham knocked off the puck, loose along the near wall. It'll be shoveled to the middle. Nobody there to connect with it. Skitters all the way across. NC State still having trouble with that clean breakout. Whenever either of these teams gets the forecheck established, it is really hard to get away from them. Here's Bressingham behind. Turnaround pass in front, hit a skate, and deflected over to the far side. Shot down in front. Knocked down by a defenseman. It'll be Bressingham to it for NC State. Back to the blue line. Wrist shot. Hit the glass behind. McEnany with a good chance. Another try. They score. From the far wall, Logan Todd took his shot, found the back of the net. It's 2-1 NC State.
A nice shot by Logan Todd, but a nice job by Drew Bressingham, too, having a couple opportunities, keeping the puck alive, getting it back up to the point for Todd. We'll take a look here. There's that initial Bressingham pass, and Todd just comes up right at the top of the face-off circle, gets lost in some traffic in front of Brown, and now NC State supports a 2-1 lead.
I think some credit there as well to Alex Robinson creating the screen in front. I'm not sure Lucas Brown saw it all the way. And so NC State takes a lead not quite halfway through this first period.
You know, Chris, we did the Canes alumni game before this one, and we're about on the same scoring, I guess, pace as that game, too. That game ended, what was it, 11 to 10, 11 to 10, 12 to 11, something like that.
A lot of points.
A lot of points.
Well, and I think something that bodes well for this NC State team as well. This is the third game played on this ice now. Carolina Hurricanes wore black. They won. It was Team Williams versus Team Brindamore in the alumni game. Team Williams in black won. Things seem to bode well on this ice for teams in black. So NC State in the uniforms that mimic the blackout football uniforms, looking pretty good too.
And even mentioning that, NC State, what a weekend for them, right? Basketball beats UNC in PNC Arena the day after the Canes played on this ice. I don't know, there's a lot of signs pointing to NC State right now.
Well, the Icepack, after an icing call, will clear it right back out off the defensive zone draw. Tar Heels going to regroup in their own end now. A little over 11 minutes left in this first period. Tar Heels struck first just 18 seconds in. Icepack answered less than a minute later. And they've been going back and forth ever since, until that last goal from the Icepack to take the lead. Wrist shot from just inside the blue line off the mark, swatted right back towards Eric Daniel, and he'll hold on and slow things up.
You know, Lucas Brown, he is a freshman. I'm actually surprised that Coach Volkman put him in for this game. I wasn't expecting it, but he's got to get a couple shots against him, a couple good saves, get that confidence built back up. NC State got 2 quick ones on him. We'll see if he can settle in the second half of this first period.
Well, that's one thing that head coach Jeff Volkman said, one thing he's stressing about this game. You want to beat NC State if you're North Carolina. It's just a game you want to win outdoors, but they're going to make sure everyone on this roster gets to experience what it's like to play outdoors. Another chance for NC State, closed off nicely by the Tar Heel defense. That was Perry Winfrey tying up a man over on the far side. And now North Carolina able to move it up and out. Can't connect on the neutral zone pass. It'll be shoveled around the wall by Nick Carabinos. And the Icepack move it into the neutral zone. Now they get disrupted. Here's a chance for North Carolina. Backhand shot patted away by Daniel. Sent right back out in front. Nobody in a white jersey able to get a stick to it. And NC State will regroup behind their net now. Ricky Frosch.
Also to talk about these jerseys, both the jerseys being worn tonight were created for this game. Tar Heels supporting the all-white uniforms. NC State mimicking the football team, going in their all-blacks.
On the forecheck, it's Miller sending it deep. Pressuring now Arini. It's forced back around behind. Wills Kendrick Holmes steps around his man Arini, sends it off the glass past Henry Foster, and it's swatted right back to Kendrick Holmes. Breakout pass stolen by Arini. Had to let it go, though, or he would have been offsides, and that allows North Carolina to break back forward with some speed as well. Here's Foster. Sends it down low. That's Saboten back out in front. Nobody there to connect with it, and it skitters all the way out, where North Carolina will retreat for it. Now NC State putting pressure on Arini again, just pestering that North Carolina defense. Here's Foster now. Tar Heels looking to generate some offense. Haven't had much since that breakaway goal. NC State goes right back to it. Arini to the middle, in all alone. Backhand, they score. This time it's Bailey. NC State with 3 unanswered, and they have a 2-goal lead.
Give credit to Garrett Arini coming up the right side. Gets the pass through the neutral zone, and it's a 2-on-1 situation. Instead of taking the selfish play, you'll see he has an opening, but he chooses to pass to Philip Bailey. Bailey does a little deke, puts it on the backhand, and snipes the water bottle off. We have a lot of water bottles falling here tonight. 3-1 lead, NC State.
You get a look at Arini there. How long was he on the ice? He was out there forechecking for a good minute to a minute and a half.
I mean, you've said Arini's name so many times tonight. He's been out there a long time. He's one of the NC State's top offensive performers. He's always in on the power play. He never runs out of energy.
Tar Heels with their back up against the wall now. We'll see what they can do. NC State off to a fantastic start. Their first goal scorer, Zach Herman, moving in now, trying to drag around his defenseman. And it's Jack Gleason stripping him of the puck and clearing it out. NC State, though, sends it right back in. Well, for the Tar Heel fans who might be watching this is usually what they see North Carolina do to their opponents. Just suffocate them in their offensive zone. And right now, NC State taking it to them. Here come the Tar Heels again. Unable to control through the neutral zone. They'll have to check up as now Patrick O'Shaughnessy moves it in. He's knocked off the puck. NC State moves it back up and out. 1-on-2. That's Luke Weichel. He's dispossessed. Now Misha Saboten looking up that far wall. Able to find Foster. Stepping in, or pardon me, that's Mahan who had it tipped off his stick. NC State clears it out once again. Under 8 minutes to play in this first period. Bad bounce off the wall and a good chance there. Blocked away by Lucas Brown. Weichel, though, with a fantastic chance on an awkward bounce.
NC State on a delayed offsides there. They had to retreat.
So now Winfrey has space to carry it forward for the Tar Heels. Steps through a couple of stick checks. Walks into the zone. As he gets into the corner, he'll send it behind the net. Leighton Walsh in on the forecheck. Worked around to Noah Friedman. Tried to throw it in front. That hit the body of Victor Hugo, who will get it back from a teammate in Weichel. Hugo lifts it up and out. This one's going to skitter all the way down. Does it have enough for icing? It does. As the first Tar Heel there is Simon Malone. And the face-off comes back to the NC State end.
You know, the Tar Heels are playing in an extremely hostile environment right now. A lot of NC State fans here, especially that it's in NC State's home football field. NC State has got all the press for this game, too. They played street hockey at the Fan Fest for the Canes. They were on the news, WRL, ABC 11, all of them interviewed them. They got exclusive tours of the ice before the Canes game even happened. So UNC's got to be playing with a chip on their shoulders right now that they didn't get all the press coming into this game as well.
Puck sent in on Daniel. He'll cover it up for another face-off. And you know, we're talking about the crowd. One thing I didn't expect is that the crowd would bleed over into the upper deck. They are up on the upper level on that opposite side now, and as I look down in front of me, they're down there as well.
They're creeping up closer to us. Absolutely. It's incredible to see.
The Icepack looking for another one, and they come shouldered away by Lucas Brown. He's been tested early and often. And the Icepack with another golden opportunity there. Tar Heels, they've been able to get some zone time as of late. They have not, though,
Daniel
been able to
the puck.
get good chances. Here's a good chance. Ooh, and a hard fall into the net for Michael Vaglia. As another awkward bounce. There have been some funky bounces off the boards here.
You know, we saw in the last home game for the Icepack versus the Tar Heels, one of the goals that was scored was a mishandled puck by Daniel. He tried to pass it along the boards, and you see him, he just whiffs his stick right over that puck. He does come back and makes a nice save, corrects his mistake, but that last game, he turned it over and immediately got scored on, and that was ended up being the game-winning goal. So something Daniel has to correct here.
Shot off the face-off is blocked down by Robinson, looking to the middle. His pass disrupted, and NC State will have to retreat and defend as the Tar Heels take possession. Under 6.5 to go in this first period. 3 unanswered goals from NC State. Could be another one. Here they come. Oh, it's sent just wide. Bad turnover from North Carolina. Still pressure from NC State as that one-timer from Frosch is deflected wide.
2 bad turnovers in a row by both teams. Luckily for them, no goals going their way.
And another long pass up the ice right in on Daniel. He'll cover it up. And another face-off. And one thing that NC State has done well, they were a little bit loose in that first 30 seconds when they gave up that goal. But since then, they've done a good job as Carolina has tried to push the puck up the ice with some of those stretch passes. NC State has not allowed that to get through cleanly since the goal. Yeah, the defense has tightened up, especially in front of Daniel, helping out their goaltender a little bit. They're playing better than they were before, and that shows that they have a 3-1 lead. Icepack right back on offense. Arini gets it from Miller, leaves it at the blue line. It'll be chipped in and deflected right back to Garrett Arini. He's bodied off the puck by Florian Zajic. He'll shovel it out, but not past Logan Todd. And now NC State sends it into their offensive end. Jack Gleason leaves it behind the net, not on the same page with Zajic, and that's a turnover. Arini back to Miller along the half wall. He'll walk it up along the blue line. Now sent deep by Thomas McEnany. Tar Heels first to it. In the corner, it's Gleason battling with Arini. Arini loses his footing. There are 2 Tar Heels there, and Gleason comes away with it. He'll chip it up. This one gets into the neutral zone, but a bouncing puck, trouble to control for Dano here. Held in at the blue line by Hogan. Foster looking out in front. That pass denied. He'll send it back up the wall to the blue line. Delaying and shooting Gleason. That one's tipped wide. Good forecheck here from the Tar Heels, continuing to keep pressure on. Bailey will send it up the wall and out. And now NC State needs a bit of a change. Loose puck collected by Zach Herman. He's already got one. Now he's got speed moving in. Steps to the middle. Backhand shot. And a save made by Brown. Herman's just incredible. He's been one of the surprises here on this Icepack team for the whole season. He just has so much speed like we were talking about. That time he goes up the left side. You usually see him on the right. He was on the left wing that time and almost got another one. Yeah, he seems to be a big stage player. Really off to a great start in this game is Zach Herman. Tar Heels back in control. Losing his footing there for the Tar Heels was O'Shaughnessy, but able to maintain control. Winfrey sends it deep. Icepack back in possession. They'll move forward as they gain the blue line. Stepping to it was Winfrey. He'll disrupt, And now North Carolina can move it back forward. Forcing it along O'Shaughnessy. Lost a glove, but he'll keep playing. Sends it to the middle, and that's stolen away by Jackson Cowan. He'll clear it out of danger.
A nice job by Cowan there, putting his stick on the ice, not letting that in danger of his goaltender, Eric Daniel, and sending that one out of the zone.
Down to about 3.5 minutes left in this first period. NC State has controlled most of the play, and they have a 3-1 lead as a result. Deflected pass on that clearance means no icing, and NC State can get in and forecheck once again. Bressingham going 1-on-3, isn't able to win that battle, and now Leighton Walsh will carry it out. Trying to force his way down the near right wing. He'll be closed off in the corner, spins it back in. And again, NC State doing a good job. Whenever Carolina has had zone time, they've been kept predominantly to the outside. They really can't get any dangerous shots on Eric Daniel here. And now NC State moves it forward. Chipped in deep by Connell Burnside, and the Tar Heels will restart from behind their own net. Errant pass up the ice, taken back by the Icepack. It's Ricky Frosch carrying it into the offensive end. He'll drop it at the blue line. Nobody there to collect it. And now it's a 2-on-1 for North Carolina. Big chance here. Shot coming, and a save made by Daniel on Zach Mangle.
A nice save by Daniel. And you mentioned the Icepack defense. That was an area that was struggling through the first 2/3 of the season. Anyone not named Hugo and Cowan on that top line of the defense had a little bit of a struggle, but ever since coming back from the Christmas break, they've tightened up and they've played much better hockey here in the last third of the season.
North Carolina gonna have to retreat here as NC State clears it. Robinson gonna beat out the icing call as he goes in hard with Justin Maggin, and they'll shove each other a little bit behind the net. There's a hand up. I'm not sure who the penalty is on. I'm gonna guess it's on North Carolina because the Icepack have control now. This will be a penalty on the Tar Heels. Extra skater out there with the delayed power play.
I believe the penalty is going to be on Justin Magin, probably for roughing along the back of the boards there.
Robinson sends it back up high slot, shot in on Brown, and he'll swallow it up in the breadbasket and hold on. But we're going to get our first power play of the game, and you get a look at Justin Maggin on Zach Robinson, and he dumped him down. When the hand went up, I'm not sure if it could potentially be an elbow. They're going to call it a hooking penalty.
Hooking. Interesting call, but yeah, Zach Robinson was fighting for that puck, and he gets put on the back. I thought it might have been a cross-check, maybe not a hook, but, you know, whatever. It's a penalty. 2-minute power play for the Icepack, first of the game.
They'll win the draw. It's Philip Bailey, top of the near circle. He'll back out to the blue line as the Icepack set up the man advantage. Herman in that quarterback position. Now Bailey moves it up for Hugo. Top of the far circle, now Miller circles with it. He'll send it back behind the net. In that far corner, it's Bailey. He'll be pinned there, stolen away by Foster. He immediately has it taken back. Miller looking to the middle. That pass deflected. It'll skitter all the way out. And NC State will restart. Just a minute left in this first period. And about a minute and a half on the power play, so it could carry over into the second. In the near corner, Icepack in control. Sent up the wall for Hugo. Back down to Herman in the corner. Had trouble with a bouncing puck. It's Arini behind the net. Back around for Philip Bailey. Looking up top. Over to the far circle. Back across for Herman. He's got a chance to step in. I'm not sure if Brown got a piece of that or not, but it was deflected wide, and this one makes its way all the way out to the red line. Herman again looking to enter. He'll leave it along the near side for Bailey to bring it in. Steps into a shot, and it looks like Brown got a piece of it. It popped straight up in the air. It looks like it hit the netting and went out of play. Yep. So with 16 seconds left in this period, it'll be an offensive zone faceoff for the Icepack.
There was that duo of Bailey and Arini again entering the zone at the same time. Now, Arini entered the zone the same time as Bailey. Bailey was the one that had the puck. He kind of set a screen for Bailey going around, and Bailey got lost in that mess of bodies that Arini had, I guess, blocked up by the blue line there. So Bailey had a nice shot over on the left side of Brown.
One last chance for the Icepack before the period's over. It's loose in front, and it skitters through harmlessly down to the last 7 seconds of the period. One more try here, sent to the middle. That pass blocked, right back out in front, and the Icepack can't get the shot away, so we'll head to the first intermission. It was the Tar Heels striking in the first 18 seconds, but after that, it was all NC State with 3 unanswered goals.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice 20 minutes of hockey played by NC State, coming back after that 1-0 goal with just a few seconds into the period, and they score 3 to be up 3-1.
Well, we're only a third of a way through this magical night here in Raleigh. The Icepack with a 3-1 lead over the Tar Heels. We'll be back in the second period.
Carolinas. Marty Smith is going to find it. Marty joining us from Raleigh, and we've seen you, sir, ride in a pace car at Daytona. We've seen you field punts at Tennessee. We've seen you do a backflip into a pool from a 7.5-meter platform. We've seen you drink a cold beer with Dale Jr. What do you have in store for us this morning?
Thanks for letting us do it.
Welcome back to Frozen Finley at Carter-Finley Stadium. We're switching positions here. They'll switch positions on the ice. Joey Bianconi and Chris Lehman here with you. Emma Kate DeLello, Icepack commentator, caught up with head coach Tim Healy after that period. This is what he had to say about his team's performance and the crowd show out tonight.
I'm here with Icepack head coach Tim Healy. Coach, a huge week of anticipation leading up to this game. What were your kind of expectations you had for your team going into this Frozen Finley game tonight?
Beat the hell out of Carolina.
And your team has the lead 3-1 going into this second period. What did you see out on the ice that you like that needs to continue?
I like what the plays are making off the rush. I would like to see us establish our forecheck more, put more pressure on the D, but I definitely like the opportunities we're generating off the rush.
And a lot of fun opportunities for your team. What has been your favorite part so far as a coach as this whole Frozen Finley opportunity as a whole?
You know, it was a good crowd during warm-ups. But when we came out and I walked back out, you know, I had a little Dave Doran moment there with the team in the huddle, and you come out. I mean, we were to the upper deck. Look at that up there. I mean, can you believe it? All weekend, honestly, it's been just an amazing weekend for hockey in Raleigh. Proven, you know, I want us to be the capital of hockey in the Southeast, and I believe we are. We might be stretching way beyond that right now with what we're showing out here. All of Raleigh hockey, not just us. I mean, but Wolfpack Nation showing out, of course.
Yes, thank you, Coach, and good luck the rest of the game.
So Coach Tim Healy, not a lot of filter on him, but an awesome interview. Emma Kate DeLello, always amazing at the interviews. But we'll head back to Chapel Hill here for a second, Chris. What do they have to do to get back in this game down 3-1?
I think what you heard head coach Tim Healy of the Icepack talk about is similar for this North Carolina team. They want to establish the forecheck. This is something that this team is built on. When they're firing on all cylinders, they're suffocating you at your own blue line. They're not giving you the chance to get up the ice cleanly, and they're keeping the puck in their offensive end and putting a lot of pressure on their opponent. But they've got to kill the rest of this power play before they can do that.
Brian Hogan and Emery Oliver took the face-off. Looks like the Icepack will win this one. Now they'll move up. That's Alex Robinson. He drops it off. Intercepted by the Tar Heels. That one moved in front of Daniel. Dangerous. Oliver will clear the zone. Now the Icepack try to chase it down, but the Tar Heels will catch up. A little bit of neutral zone play there. The Icepack will get it in deep. That's Malone. He'll air it out into the air here at Carter-Finley, the open air at Carter-Finley. Very loud Wolfpack chants. Taking all, it's insane. I've never heard an atmosphere like this at an Icepack game in my life.
This is unbelievable. And you got to give credit to Carolina. The way they came out and killed that 30 seconds was perfect. Now they got to find a way to get on the attack. NC State is continuing to be really aggressive.
NC State using the momentum to enter their offensive zone, but pushed off the puck. Tar Heels will come back the other way. They'll move it through the neutral zone, heckled by a couple Icepack defenders. And they'll turn it over to the Icepack. That's Emery Oliver, moves it for Ricky Frosch. Jagelski now will come away with that puck. And now back into the neutral zone. Tar Heels try to move it forward off the Icepack turnover. That's O'Shaughnessy. We've seen him score against the Icepack, and that one just barely wide and into the UNC bench.
Good chance there for the Tar Heels, and that's what they're going to have to generate more of. You look at the shot totals up on the scoreboard. It says 13-9 in favor of North Carolina right now, and we mentioned it in that first period. NC State, when they've been in their defensive zone, have done a really good job of keeping play to the outside, not letting things to the danger area.
And there's O'Shaughnessy and a UNC goal. No! Just off. Misha Sabotin almost had it going the other way for the Tar Heels.
Hopefully we'll get a look at the replay on that to see what happened. That looked like a sure goal.
He looked wide open. That's why I said it. But here goes the Icepack back in their zone. That's Philip Bailey. He'll move it back up to the face-off circle for Jagelski. Now Bailey battling a couple UNC Tar Heel defenders, and they'll come away with the puck. Turned over at the blue line. There's Gardarini. Drops it off for Matt Miller. And now moves it behind the net for Philip Bailey. Back up to Arini. Now back up to the point for the Icepack. Blocked out in front. Matt Miller tried to get something on that. And will turn over once again in the neutral zone. Coming in, that's Logan Todd. Skates behind Brown. Looking for a teammate, connects with Matt Miller, but he'll have to circle back and collect it. He takes a slip to the ice. O'Shaughnessy battling with Williams. And now the Tar Heels will come back up with it.
They're still struggling to get through neutral ice. No clean passes for the Tar Heels.
Here comes Matt Miller, drops it for Williams. Now back into the crease for Williams. Can't get a clean look at that, so they'll send it back up to the blue line. There's Todd once again. Skates, nobody home for the pass. Icepack elect to take a line change, and they'll turn it over to the Tar Heels. They'll go the other way. There's a shot on Daniel. That one just off the top of the glass. Now Zach Herman takes control of this one. He gets his stick lifted. No penalty called. As now Hugo moves that one forward.
Yeah, that was O'Shaughnessy with the chance. It just took too long.
Another shot off Daniel. Not connected. The rebound collected by Zach Herman. He takes a slip to the ice. No penalty called. Chase Williams enters the zone. Has Fong with him. But the Icepack will turn it over once again. A lot of turnovers here in the first few minutes of the second period. And now the Tar Heels have it once again. That one rimmed around the boards for the Tar Heels. Now battling for it. Jackson Cowan down there moves it forward. And here come the Icepack. That's Drew Bressingham trying to get some speed on that puck. The crowd was behind him, but just a little slow. That one comes out for Zach Herman. Cameron Lohr enters the zone all by himself. Walsh picks that puck up. And now the Tar Heels will reset things.
Nice elevated pass across the ice.
David Mahan enters the zone, tries to find Walsh down in the slot, and that one dangerously just wide of Daniel.
That was misplayed in front of the net by NC State. They were fortunate there wasn't a Tar Heel in a better position to capitalize.
Now the Tar Heels move that one back up to the point. Battling for it is the Icepack, and they'll come away with it. They'll air it out into the neutral zone. It will go out of play. I don't know if that was off a stick. But it looks like,
fortunately for the Icepack, there's no delay of game for just a straight clearance out your defensive end. So that won't be a problem. But Tar Heels starting to get some established zone time now. If you're NC State, you want to find a way to get back to it. There's a look at that chance for Saboden that just got directed wide.
Daniels saved 14 of 15 shots faced at him so far. Here you see Ives trying to make a pass. The Icepack doing a good job in the defensive zone here. Cowan picks that one up. Michael Vaglia battling with him. Ben Edwards tried to chase that one down, but squirts out to Bressingham. He tries to clear the zone, but the Tar Heels will still keep it in. A lot of zone time here for the Tar Heels, with not a lot of shots to show. And that'll be batted out of play right in the same spot that it was the last time. So face off back into the Icepack zone once again.
Yeah, and this pressure's going to come back to bite NC State if they can't alleviate it. This is what I talked about going into this period, what North Carolina wanted to do, suffocate NC State in their own defensive zone.
NC State will win that one. Here's Drew Bressingham one-on-one, has Cameron Lohr with him. Cameron Lohr takes the shot, and it's just wide of Brown. Lohr still in there deep on the forecheck. He gives up. Tar Heels will regroup as NC State went for a line change. Zach Robinson now out there. Now here come the Tar Heels. Once again, shot wide of the net. And it'll be cleared into the neutral zone. The Icepack picked this one up, have numbers, takes the shot onto Brown, and we'll get a stoppage of play as he swallowed that one up.
Well, it'll be interesting to see as we're starting to approach the halfway point of this game. Just about 4 minutes left for Lucas Brown of ice time. Head coach Jeff Volkman did tell us that we were going to see Joel Hughes for the second half of this game. And he's been really solid between the pipes for Carolina. The question is, how does he do coming off the bench after half a game's already been played?
And he's given NC State a lot of trouble this season. The Tar Heels have won, what was it, 1, 2, 3 games against the Icepack so far this season after multiple seasons of not taking a game from them. As there's a shot wide of Daniel. Somebody loses his stick. I believe that's Ricky Frosch. And the Tar Heels still keep it in the zone. Nice job there by James to clear that one out. Now Zach Robinson has an entourage with him, gets it to his brother Alex Robinson, has Emery Oliver with him, takes the backhanded shot off the pad of Hughes. Or not Hughes, Brown, we were just talking about Hughes. And right back out to Zach Robinson.
Tar Heels might have gotten away with one there as well. I believe it was number 25, Luke Weichel, on that near post who kind of got tied up and taken to the ground without a hand going up.
So the Tar Heels have done a better job at limiting shots here, dangerous opportunities for the Icepack. But the Robinson brothers are the ones out there if you want to generate something on offense. We've seen it multiple times. As there's an interception by Emery Oliver. I'm sorry, that's Matt Miller. Zach Robinson, Alex Robinson. Nice job by Brown tracking down that puck, and now UNC's going the other way. But we'll turn it over at the blue line, and Todd will move it forward for Jagielski. Some Tar Heels thought that might have been an icing, but no icing. There might have been a trip, no penalty called. UNC fans.
We're letting them play.
Letting them play. There's Zajic. He tries to get it forward. Nice job by the Icepack on defense there. And another turnover. There's Philip Bailey takes the shot. And off a body out in front. He's crushed along the boards, but NC State will quickly recover. Matt Miller does a 180, tries to get back into the zone. Gardarini picks it up, gets pushed along the boards by Zajic. And now the Tar Heels come away with that one. Todd picks it up in the neutral zone. Gets it for Zach Robinson. He's getting some trouble. But there's a turnover. Chase Williams! Oh, what a save, Brown! Turned over in the slot. Williams picked it up and had a one-on-one with Brown. And now here go the Tar Heels the other way. O'Shaughnessy put the brakes on but lost the puck. And Chase Williams will pick that one up once again. Chase Williams was a player that didn't play the whole season for the Icepack. As there goes Zach Herman along the right side, the right winger. He'll move it forward for Fong, and that one's covered up. I was talking about Chase Williams and how he wasn't playing a lot for the Icepack. He actually wasn't playing at all in the first half of the season. He wasn't eligible. He came in the second half of the season, as you see the shot there, and he's just been electric. A fire starter for this Icepack team on offense. It didn't take him long to lose his yellow skate laces.
We're seeing the goaltenders swapping out here now on both sides. So Joel Hughes in for North Carolina now, and it looks like it's going to be, I believe, Daniel Foley going in for NC State. So it'll be interesting to see how these two goaltenders do as this game wears on, as they come out and have to kind of go at it cold.
So Daniel Foley, not a name you've heard a lot on the Icepack broadcast. He's only played 4 games, started in 3, but he does have a 3-0 record on the season and just under a .900 save percentage at .899.
And you get a look at Joel Hughes up close there. It looks to me like he's shaking his head and saying, no, I don't need any warm-up shots. On the other end, Foley's getting some warm-ups. So we did wonder how they would do coming in cold. Hughes seems like he's going to be okay without any, or at least he feels like he will be. And Foley's going to get a little extra work here. I think it's not a bad idea. When you look at what a goaltender has to do, the flexibility and the agility and the sudden stops and starts, it's definitely, I think, safer for these guys if they can get out, get loose, get some blood flowing in their legs before they really start to stretch things out.
And also, it's age and experience, too. Daniel Foley is a freshman, has only played 4 games. On the other end of the ice, Joel Hughes, I believe he's 29 years old. He's a junior.
Older, 30 plus.
Older, 30 plus. So there you go. He's had a lot of experience between those pipes, so he may not need as much conditioning as Daniel Foley, but both of them will take warm-ups, at least the time for warm-ups.
That's one of the things that head coach Jeff Volkman has talked about with me throughout the course of the season, is how little maintenance that Joel Hughes requires. It's not that goalies require a lot of time and commitment from a head coach, but he's a guy that, he has his routine. As you mentioned, he's got a lot of experience. Might be his first year with the Tar Heels, but he's played a lot of hockey at a lot of different levels. He's got that military background, very disciplined, so he's, I gotta think, really good at staying mentally in the game, and of course, he felt ready without the warm-up.
And for the Icepack, this is a totally different game now. You have a goalie that leaves the game, Lucas Brown. You scored 3 goals on him. You could try to find the open slots in the goal, but a guy like Joel Hughes that's built so big, you got to get him moving in the crease. You're not going to be able to find those open spots unless you get him moving, because he's going to be a brick wall in front of that net.
Yeah, he didn't have to move too much on that one-timer from Hugo there. Nice one to get started with your outing.
Herman won that face-off, but Hugo not able to collect that puck. Moves it for Jackson Cowan. Now they'll enter the zone. Fong was the closest one to it. That one through the skates of Herman, and now the Tar Heels going the other way. That's David Mahan takes the shot through the crease. Nobody there to put that one home. The Tar Heels will keep it in the zone, though. Now Victor Hugo goes the other way. That was Alex Fong through his stick. Chase Williams now picks it up, moves it in the zone, gets it in deep. Hughes comes out of net and plays it for the Tar Heels. Now the Tar Heels pick it up once again. That's David Mahan skating on the left side of the ice. Pushed off the puck by Zach Herman. Now Thomas McEnany moves it forward again. Lost in the skates of Alex Fong. The Icepack pick it up. There's Herman all alone. Tries the shot off Hughes. Shoulder save and up into the netting. We'll stop play here.
And we talked about how NC State, or North Carolina rather, got off to a good start, had a lot of pressure early. We've seen NC State with some spurts like that as well. That's what you're going to see in the second period, and it's really important for these two teams as quickly as they can flip the ice to do so, because you've got to go a longer way to get to your bench. it's harder to change lines. You're going to end up with more tired bodies out there. And so it's really, really important to get the puck out and get it deep enough that you can get a change and then get it on the forecheck.
Carabinos loses a puck in the defensive zone for the Icepack, but they'll quickly come away with it. That's Colby Bilodeau. Wolfpack chants echoing across Carter-Finley once again. Carabinos struggling to get out of the near corner. He's fighting along the boards. The Tar Heels still trying to get it out in front. Nice save by Foley. Now Frosch moves that forward for Bressingham. Bressingham moves it to the middle of the ice, but nobody there. And the Tar Heels will enter the zone once again. Foley comes out in net, gets it for Frosch. Frosch to Carabinos. And now Weichel moves that one out of the zone.
Oh, big hit at the red line by Bressingham, but you're starting to see why it's so hard to make line changes in the second period. Carolina's doing a great job. Look at this, right at the red line, turn it right back. Don't give NC State the space to make a change. Force those tired bodies to stay out on the ice.
Carabinos lost that in his skates for a little bit, but we'll have a whistle here.
Another penalty on North Carolina, another hooking penalty. And I think it's going to be Patrick O'Shaughnessy, the guilty party.
Patrick O'Shaughnessy, one of the leading goal scorers for the Tar Heels, going to take a seat for 2 minutes. Icepack go on their second power play of the game, up 3-1. Not something the Tar Heels wanted right now, especially with all that zone time they were getting.
This is an instance, I would say, to keep an eye out for number 81, Henry Foster. He's up on the top of your screen right now, just a moment ago. 6 shorthanded goals, second in the nation in ACHA D2 hockey this year in shorthanded goals. He knows how to capitalize as with the man down.
Now Zach Robinson knocks a defender over. That shot blocked out in front. Now a shot on to Hughes, shrugged aside. Chase Williams, off of his body, has to retreat into the neutral zone. Passes it along the red line for Zach Robinson. He loses that puck. Big hit laid along the near boards. Icepack not able to establish their zone time yet. The Tar Heel penalty kill doing a good job, but now they'll start a breakout. Williams seeing a lot of playing time in Frozen Finley so far. Moves it for Alex Robinson. Alex Robinson up the far boards. Gonna wrap around off the back of the net. And that'll be sent the length of the ice.
Nice job by the Tar Heel penalty kill, about halfway through it now. They have not given NC State any good looks so far.
Zach Robinson starts the next breakout, enters the neutral zone along the far boards. He has teammates with him, but knocked off the puck, and he's sat down by the Tar Heel defense. Hugo comes out and resets for the Icepack. 49 seconds left on the power play, and they're going to enter offsides.
That one was a split-second decision there. I think Arini tried to stay off the puck long enough to allow, I think it was Philip Bailey on that far side to touch up and just didn't quite get the timing right.
The faceoff will come back to center ice. See Walsh going to take a seat on the bench. Misha Sabotin will take the faceoff for the Tar Heels along with Matt Miller for the Icepack, and he'll win it for NC State. Now Zach Herman passes it forward to the blue line, and they'll enter the zone. Matt Miller was streaking through the slot, but unable to find him was Philip Bailey as he's heckled along the near boards. And they'll send out to the neutral zone once again. Zach Herman tries to turn on the Jets, and he enters the zone. There he is with his speed, and he scores! Zach Herman on the power play puts the Icepack up 4-1.
Well, and there's where you wonder if Joel Hughes is a little rusty coming off the bench. Gets beat short side, up high, trying to cover the bottom, and Herman, who has been fantastic tonight all over the place, just does it all himself here. See plenty of space, out wide, and Hughes just didn't have that near post cover. Good look there from Herman.
He beats the first round of defense for the Tar Heels and unable to put some pressure on Herman. Goes short side on Hughes. Maybe he should have taken the warm-up shots. So the Icepack up 3 goals now. Matt Miller takes the face-off and instantly won for the Tar Heels, but a nice job by Jagelski to get his stick in there and keep a dangerous opportunity. That one's turned over to the Tar Heels. That was Dan O'Here. Garrett Arini turns it over to Dan O'Here. Dan O'Here takes the shot off of Foley. Foley hasn't seen too much action yet. Now Matt Miller collects the puck, moves it for Jagielski. Down to Garrett Arini. He crosses the blue line and turns it over in the neutral zone. Jagielski puts a body on that puck, but now here come the Tar Heels once again. That shot was Brian Hogan.
This is gut check time for the Tar Heels. You're down 3 goals now. You've given up 4 straight. You need one.
There's a turnover by the Icepack off of Foley's stick. Not able to get a shot off. It was the Tar Heels. O'Hear will move it back down behind Icepack goaltenders, and they'll send it along into the Tar Heel zone. That's Garrett Arini battling with some Tar Heels, but eventually John Miglior will move it out. Icepack going back to collect. That's Ricky Frosch. He scored the Icepack's only goal in the last home game of the season against the Tar Heels. Now turned over. There's O'Shaughnessy. Took a seat on the penalty bench earlier, and that one glove save by Foley.
North Carolina's got their hands up in the air. They wanted a trip over in front of their own bench. I think they're hoping, since they've been on the penalty kill a couple of times, they're going to get one going their way here soon. And they need it. They don't seem to have energy right now. They're lacking the jump that they need to get back into this game. And the longer that goes, the harder it's going to get for them to get it back.
You know, they had the energy, and then they committed the penalty, and they just haven't been able to recover since then. So they'll chase it back into their own zone. That was Ben Hughes, and that one just passed, and he'll cover that one up. Joel Hughes.
There was good support on the forecheck there as well from the Icepack. You'll see it right here along the near wall. Stepping in there, number 22, Emery Oliver, created that chance with his support on the near wall.
Face-off will be in the Tar Heel zone. Oliver will take that face-off against Leighton Walsh. The Tar Heels will win that one. A little bit of a high stick in there by Alex Robinson, no call. So we'll continue play. That's going to be number 15, David Mahan. A weak shot on the Foley, and we'll get a whistle.
It looks like, I believe it was Leighton Walsh who had a stick break there. The Icepack had a chance with a man down for the Tar Heels to make something happen and couldn't. It looks like Foley might have knocked the netting off there. She's going to look at that broken stick.
Snapped right in half, but we'll continue play. Oliver and Walsh will take the face-off once again. Tar Heels win that one. Slap shot off an Icepack defender out in front. That was McEnany. Now Todd turned it over. Puck out in the crease, but moves to the near boards. Now along the half wall, Alex Robinson tried to take it out. Now here goes Emery Oliver. Oliver enters the zone, but quickly poked out by a UNC defender. Now battling for it in the neutral zone. A couple Icepack players in there, Alex Robinson and Matt Miller. Tar Heels will slow down the pace. That was Con Dolge. Now Zach Robinson collects it along the far half boards. Moves it for Weichel. Now back along those boards once again. That was Todd. McEnany now kicks it forward to himself, moves it for Zach Robinson. Robinson now passed through the crease. There's a shot by Weichel, goes just wide. A lot of traffic out in front. The Icepack tried to keep it in the zone, but just past the stick of Zach Robinson. And now Hughes will just cover that one up to avoid the danger of Weichel coming in to the crease.
Well, that's the way you beat Joel Hughes. The other way you beat Joel Hughes, get traffic in front, don't let him see the shot. He takes up most of the net, but if you can find the right spot and he doesn't see it, he doesn't have a chance.
Joel Hughes supporting the beanie on his goalie mask as well. Seems like the older guys in the net are supporting the beanies.
Speaking of in the net, there goes Foley to the bench. So just a quick about 10-minute spurt for him. And it looks like the rest of the game is going to belong to Isaac Toyer, who gets some warm-up shots here.
Isaac Toyer, the future of this Icepack team, only a sophomore. His record may not show it this year. He has an 8-7 record. But he is a great goaltender. A 900 save percentage, just 3.32 goals per game. I mentioned it before, about every time the Tar Heels play the Icepack, but Toyer was the one that shut out the Tar Heels in last year's ACCHL championship game when and the Icepack won their 4th in a row.
You want to talk about two very different goaltenders. You look at Toyer down there, not nearly as big as Joel Hughes. He's got to be more active. He's got to be able to move a little bit better. So you're looking at two very different styles of goaltenders. Even when you look at Daniel Foley and Eric Daniel, and they're bigger, lankier goaltenders who have a little bit more reach.
So definitely a different approach for the Tar Heels now, going the other way in the net. So you got to think, this is a special game. You want to get all your players in here, but the change of goaltenders is going to change the game plan for both of these teams moving on forward.
I think if you're North Carolina right now, first and foremost, pucks to the net. It's a hockey cliche, but when you have a new goaltender in, make him stop the puck.
O'Shaughnessy took the shot on Toyer, recovers his own rebound, and dives on the puck to stop play. 3:45 left in the second period.
Not a bad decision there from O'Shaughnessy. As I mentioned, just get the puck to the net. You hope for a little bit more of a rebound, but a nice job by Toyer just to control that first one.
So O'Shaughnessy will take the face-off against Zach Herman. Herman wins that one for the Icepack. Pass forward for Fong, unable to locate that one through his skates. Cowan chases that one back, moves it for Chase Williams. Hugo collects that puck, moves it through the neutral zone. I don't believe anybody touched that one, so it's going to be an icing. It'll come right back to where it was.
Another good chance for the Tar Heels. Offensive zone draw late in this period. A goal right now would give you some momentum going to the third. Icepack have done a really, really good job of just smothering their energy. They have not given them anything. But top line's out there now for the Tar Heels.
Herman wins that one for the Icepack. Hugo trying to collect that puck. Brian Hogan. The Icepack will come away with it. Philip Bailey loses that one. Now the Tar Heels coming back the other way. Jackson Cowan battling for it along with Zach Herman. Victor Hugo back there as well. Now the Tar Heels lose that one in their offensive zone. Trying to poke check Herman. He has 2 goals in this matchup already. He loses the puck. He comes back and lays a hit on a Tar Heel player there. Jackson Cowan gets it for Fong. Fong having a little bit of trouble locating pucks tonight. But that one will be sent the length of the ice for icing once again.
And you see it. Tar Heels get some good pressure here. Icepack can't change. Fresh bodies again for UNC, but I think you look at Herman, Zach Herman, who's out there. The question for me is, who throws the hats if he gets another one? They can't get to the ice.
Yeah, they're not going to get to the ice. You're going to need a big arm to get it to the ice.
Need a little extra weight in that hat too, I think.
I believe it's probably about 25 to 30 feet away from where the fans are down there. So it's quite a large distance. Yeah, you're going to need like a rock in there or something to even get it.
There's a little bit of a snow pile down at the one end.
Yeah, there you go.
Snowball in there.
So the Tar Heels collect it in their own zone. They'll come back. That's Patrick O'Shaughnessy enters the zone, delays his shot off the pad of Isaac Toyer. Battling for it along the near half boards. That's Weichel putting the check on him. Now, the puck's dangerously loose out in front in the crease. We'll have a whistle. Toyer covers that one. Crowd giving him a little bit of an ovation, and now with just 1 minute and 52 seconds left in this period, Tar Heels are wanting to come away with one here.
Yeah, and they aren't getting those really good chances. The only really grade A prime chance they had was the breakaway they scored on. Outside of that, there have been a couple flurries in front where they can kind of whack at the pads of the goaltender, but nothing that's really, really dangerous, and they need some of those chances. They haven't truly tested these NC State goaltenders, I don't think, and a lot of that is credit to the way that the Icepack have defended.
What the Tar Heels really could use is a power play here. Try to get something going on that. The Icepack playing disciplined hockey here. There's a pass out through the crease, unable to connect. Tar Heels will tip that one back in. There's Leighton Walsh. He moves it for Noah Friedman. Now there's a shot on the Toyer. The net's going to come up after that one as the Tar Heel player was pushed into it. And they'll fix it once again. That's the second time in couple minutes that net has come up.
Well, you got to look there at Perry Winfrey a moment ago, who took that last shot. I would have liked to see him make the pass across. There was a passing lane through the slot. He had a man in that far circle for a one-timer. I think it would have been a better chance now. Might not have gotten the shot off before that net got knocked off, but it looked like a little bit better of an option for the Tar Heels.
You know, maybe you think in a game this high profile, these players, it's not a game that really truly matters at the end of the day. Maybe they just want to have their names on the score sheet after this game.
I'm sure everyone wants to be the one celebrating after they score a goal. The question is, do you want that more than you want your team's score to be the higher one at the end of this game? And I think the Icepack have done a really good job of spreading the puck around and taking advantage of the space that they've had. And they've done a good job of closing it off and not giving the Tar Heels much time.
Bressingham enters the zone, drops it off for Matt Miller. Miller moves it back up to the point for Victor Hugo, and there's a shot. Arini, rebound, shot by Matt Miller off the pad of Hughes. Now back up to the point. That's off a skate of an Icepack player entering the zone. Now it'll squirt back into the neutral zone. Cowan picks that one up, moves it for Captain Victor Hugo. He gets it in deep. The Icepack there to pinch it along the boards. It's Philip Bailey, 15 seconds and counting. Left in the second period. Matt Miller battling for it. 7 seconds left. Let's see if the Tar Heels can do something going the other way. Nice stick in there by Oliver. Hugo in there along the far half boards will crush him, and that will do it. Icepack score 1 in this period to increase the lead by 3. A 4-1 game we have going into the final frame. We'll be right back here on Pack TV for the final 20 minutes of Frozen Finley action.
40 minutes down, 20 to go here at Frozen Finley. NC State UNC here at Carter-Finley Stadium. Before we get back to action, here's Emma Kate DeLillo with head coach Jeff Volkman of the Tar Heels.
I'm here with UNC head coach, Coach Volkman. This is just a huge opportunity for your team playing outdoors at Carter-Finley. What was kind of the expectation you had set for your team going into tonight's game?
You know, I just wanted the guys to play loose and have fun out there. You know, this is obviously 1 in a million. Make sure everybody gets out there. So, but obviously we want to try to win, but that was definitely the message.
Yes, and your team's down 4-1 going into this third period. So what do you see that kind of needs to change to generate a little bit more offense for your team?
You know, I mean, we just had a couple bad breaks. You know, they made a couple good saves. I mean, we're a few bounces, you know, from tying this up, and that was the story in the first period. Second period, we came back, played a better period. You know, it's kind of whoever gets the better bounces in a game like this.
And the Icepack is a team that your team is no stranger to, having faced off against them a lot this season. What does it mean to be facing this team yet again in this outdoor game?
It's fun. I mean, it's appropriate, right? I mean, this is the best rivalry in the state, and you know, it's just a lot of fun for the guys. So, you know, we're real happy to face off against these guys.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you.
So we're just about set to restart play. Chris Lehman alongside Joey Bianconi for the final period of Frozen Finley. We just heard from head coach Jeff Volkman, and they got some work to do, but as he said, it's been a tightly contested game, and maybe the score doesn't quite show.
Yeah, absolutely, and if you're the Tar Heels trying to get back into this one, you just need to throw some pucks at the net, get bounces off Isaac Toyer. These are smaller goaltenders. If you throw pucks at him and he lays out and get a rebound off of that, there's going to be a lot of open space in that net. So we'll see what they can do in the last 20 minutes of Frozen Finley.
Oh, they're going to get a power play right out the gate. Henry Foster hauled down in the near corner. Used to the bench, extra skater coming out for North Carolina. Winfrey looking for the deflection into the far corner. Tip back out in front, poked loose, and now the Icepack will touch up. And just 21 seconds into this period, Joey, really crucial power play for the Tar Heels.
That's exactly what you needed if you were the Tar Heels, not what you wanted if you were the Icepack, up supporting a 3-goal lead going into the last frame of this game. The Tar Heels desperately need one to fall. They need to throw pucks at the net, stay aggressive, and keep the puck in that zone that whole time.
Well, looks like they'll have Patrick O'Shaughnessy out with Brian Hogan, as well as Cole Kozowski, along with Perry Winfrey and Henry Foster. So 4 forwards out there on the power play for North Carolina, but it's NC State clearing it all the way down to start. Good start to the penalty kill for the Icepack. Foster up the near right wing. Leaves it at the blue line for Hogan. Up top, he's got Winfrey looking over, takes the shot. Looks like Toyer saw it the whole way. He'll squeeze it in the glove for the faceoff.
Nice job by the Icepack there, highlighted by Drew Bressingham on the aggressive forecheck down there, not allowing the Tar Heels to establish that puck and kind of generate a breakout there. And once they managed to get it in the zone, Toyer did a nice job swallowing that puck up, not allowing the rebound for a UNC Tar Heel goal.
Tar Heels win the draw. They'll set up the power play. Winfrey with the shot. Hit a body on the way through. Icepack looking to clear, and they will, off of Brian Hogan. It'll slide down the ice. Tar Heels got to reset again. It'll be Winfrey with speed from behind the net. A lot of space up that left wing. He'll carry it all the way in. Working on the NC State defense, trying to poke it to the middle. Still loose there, and it's jammed just wide. Tar Heels send it around the wall. First one to it is NC State's Logan Todd. He'll send it the length of the ice. Hughes has to come out to play it to keep it away from Garrett Arini. Arini still does a good job getting over to that far corner. He's got possession as the Wolfpack chant starts again. And now Arini turning, firing, and it looks like it hit somebody on the NC State bench. So the faceoff going to be in the Icepack zone.
So the previous Tar Heel breakout, it seemed it worked for them, using the speed to their advantage. Got a shot off on net, but other than that, the power play hasn't worked. Now, the first goal of the game that the Tar Heels scored, that was using their speed and blowing by the Icepack defense. So you got to get back to what worked before. Using the speed, that's going to be delayed offside, so that's not going to help their case. But using their speed to get back against those Icepack defenders, especially if it's not Hugo or Cowan back on the defensive side.
Yeah, and a big misplay there from Florian Zajic of North Carolina, the Austrian, who made the pass outside of the zone. Tar Heels, though, quickly back in. Dano here carrying it to the far wall. Back up top. They'll walk the line. That's Malone. Again over. O'Here's shot. Hit somebody in front. Didn't get to Toyer. And now the Icepack first to it. It's Garrett Arini. 17 seconds left in the power play, so he's going to carry it up the ice and waste some more time. Tar Heels back in control. They'll move it up the near side, and they come in offsides. And that's going to just about do it for the penalty to Victor Hugo. He's still got 5 seconds left, but a couple of chances for the Tar Heels. Didn't get much outside of that, though.
You know, the Icepack were nice and gifted the Tar Heels a power play to start this period, and they just could not do anything with it. They got one quality shot off of that, and the rest of the time was spent back behind the offensive zone. So not a good power play for the Tar Heels.
But for whatever reason, North Carolina just tonight not getting to the middle of the ice in the offensive zone nearly as effectively as they have. As you hear the sound effect, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Mangle dispossessed in the near corner. Here comes Herman. He's already got two. Looking for the hat. He takes the shot. Hits the glass behind Hughes with it. Quick shot on after that. Also whistles wide from the far side boards. As a couple of players collide in the near corner. Loose puck behind the Tar Heel net. UNC looking to clear, having trouble. They do eventually get it out. Sam Ives swats it along with one hand. Icepack, though, turn it right back. Into the zone comes Chase Williams. Forces his way behind the net. Poked out in front. Loose in the crease, and Hughes going to get a paw on it and cover it up. Did a nice job sealing down low, but a dangerous chance for North Carolina State.
As soon as the Icepack go back to even numbers, it's immediate pressure on Hughes. You see Chase Williams out in front in the crease, giving him some trouble, but Hughes does a nice job of securing that puck and not allowing the Icepack to increase their lead.
Tar Heels going to go straight forward off the defensive zone draw. In from the far side. Quick shot. Toyer able to handle it off the stick of Dano here. Sent right back out in front through the crease. Nobody able to get a stick to it. Tar Heels with some pressure here. They have the Icepack scrambling a bit in their defensive zone. That shot from Foster blocked down. And now NC State can kind of get a handle on things, but it squirts loose. Quick shot sent wide of the net by Miglior. He gets it back. Steers it to the net, sticked away by Toyer. Another chance, they score. Eventually one was going to find the back of the net. It's Dano here who opened the scoring for the Tar Heels, picking up his second of the night.
So they did exactly what I said they needed to do. Get Toyer moving around in net, trying to make saves. Off the rebound, you see the initial shot here. Toyer was confused. He tried to hit it with this stick. He ends up going back into the crease, squirts out to Dan O'Hear, and caught a confused Toyer off guard, and now the lead's cut in half.
Well, and it looked like there, the Icepack, maybe a little bit lazy. They weren't moving their feet. Toyer didn't really know where to go with the rebound, so he left a juicy one out in front, and the Tar Heels just had the positioning. They're going to go right back to work again. Back to the point, one-timer from Malone, off the wall, in front, couple chances, and the Tar Heels can't put it on goal. Good opportunity there for North Carolina to really take a stranglehold on the momentum as NC State sends it the length of the ice. No icing, so we play on. It's Gleason up the near wall for Saboda. Looking to the middle, reaching for it, deflecting it in for the Tar Heels. It was Kozowski out in front. Toyer went to play with it, and the puck was out in front with nobody in the net, and the Tar Heels could not put it on goal.
Another error by a goaltender for the Icepack there. You saw it earlier in the game by Eric Daniel, and Toyer now turns it over behind his own net. Something the Icepack have to fix because we've seen it a couple times this season already.
O'Shaughnessy with a chance there, unable to direct it on goal. Icepack under some pressure will ice it. And they're going to have to keep some tired bodies out there. Another good chance here for North Carolina. 15-19 to go in this hockey game.
Zooming in on Zach Selway, the media director for the NC State Icepack. This will be his last game with the Icepack, so cool moment for him, getting some pictures.
Getting recognized here in the arena as well. He's done a great job with the Icepack social media. Really elevated it in his time with the organization. Here's a chance for NC State now. Robinson to the middle. Big glove save from Hughes on the Robinson to Robinson connection. Or no, pardon me, that's Emery Oliver down there.
Now that's a starting goaltender save. Playing aggressive, showing you're not scared of these Icepack skaters, as we'll take a look at the replay there. It started on Zach, but we'll go back to the one-timer opportunity. Joel Hughes comes out of his crease a little bit, plays aggressive, and that big body still managing to block most of the net, and he makes an incredible save against an aggressive Icepack team.
That's a good shot there as well from Emery Oliver. Went back across the net with it so that Hughes kind of had to go against his momentum with the glove save there. But a big one as well to keep the Tar Heels within two and keep them within striking distance. Tar Heels able to break it out of the zone, unable to connect on the breakout pass though. Jackson Cowan sends it off the far wall, banks it back into the Tar Heel end where Zajic can pitchfork it out. Ives furthers it along. Gets some help there from Mangle. NC State sends it right back up the wall and out. Winfrey will reset behind the net. It does feel like the Tar Heels have had a little bit more control here early on in this third period.
Yeah, the goal definitely helped them there. So we'll see how it goes, but Icepack enter the zone, and quick shot from Philip Bailey sent wide by Hughes.
You saw Hughes look behind him a little bit. He got beat short side earlier. I think he was a little bit afraid of the same thing happening there. NC State defense does a good job shutting that down. Now Arini again trying to walk through the defense, loses it right to a teammate though in Miller, who can't get the shot away. Still loose as they hack at it in the slot. Miller backhands it back to the point. He'll get it back along the wall. Finds Hugo at the blue line, looking for a tip. Big save by Hughes on the deflection. Did a nice job sealing up the 5-hole on that one.
Yeah, Bailey disappointed with himself on that one. But nice job by Hughes. The UNC defense was kind of scrambling there a little bit, especially with that initial shot by Garrett Arini. All 5 UNC defenders were just about 5 feet away from Hughes at one point, so they were scrambling. Nice job by Hughes to stop play.
Bouncing puck handled at the blue line by the NC State defense. Logan Todd swats it back behind the North Carolina net. Tar Heels looking to clear. Held in, though, at the blue line by Thomas McEnany. His shot whistled wide. Jack Gleason pinned along the far wall for the Tar Heels. And again, NC State holds the zone. Again, it's Todd with the, or pardon me, McEnany with the shot. And Hughes will squeeze it in the glove. We're starting to see the momentum shift a little bit. NC State, some extended zone time here. A couple of testy shots there on Joel Hughes that he was able to handle. They'll go right back to work, winning the offensive zone drop. Cycled around behind the net. Herman putting on pressure. Sent to the middle. Denied there by the North Carolina defense. Loose puck collected along the wall, and we're going to get another penalty. I think this is going to be interference on North Carolina.
Yeah, down 2 goals, and then getting called for interference, sending the Icepack on their 3rd power play of the game. Tar Heels need to kill off this penalty. They can't let the Icepack score another power play goal. We saw one from Zach Herman earlier in the 2nd period. So they have to do well on the penalty kill here.
So Wheeler, 2 minutes for interference. Important penalty kill for the Tar Heels. Icepack can start to put this one away with another power play goal. UNC penalty kill, clears it into their own bench. We'll do it again from that far circle to the left of Joel Hughes. 13:04 to go in this 3rd period. Tar Heels have gotten 1. They need 2 more, and they need to keep the Icepack off the board on this power play. It'll be Foster with the slapper out of the zone. NC State in control again at their own blue line. Cross ice for Zach Robinson. He'll carry it into the zone. Sends it around the wall for Alex. Back to Emery Oliver. That pass tipped away. Here goes Henry Foster looking for shorthanded goal number 7, and a save made by Toyer. Got a piece of that one. Golden opportunity for the Tar Heels, and now a hand pass will be called on Henry Foster as he tried to direct it over to Brian Hogan. We'll get another look at this. Careless pass from Oliver and a dangerous chance for Henry Foster. Had time. I'm not sure if he knew he had time to make the move, and he may actually have just airmailed that one.
Yeah, exactly. Nice job by Toyer, though, staying in net, keeping his composure. But yeah, 2-on-0 opportunity, short-handed for the Tar Heels. That one definitely would have shifted the momentum, but unable to cash in on that opportunity. Now the Icepack will have to chase it back.
Yeah, it was Gardarini walking in by himself there. Couldn't do it 1-on-3. Icepack regroup. Hugo with some pressure from behind. Looks to the near side for McEnany. Now Herman sends it deep. All the way around the wall, over to the far hashes. Miller backhands it to the blue line. Cross ice pass to the near side for Herman. He'll turn his back to the ice. Sends it down the wall for Bailey. Looking things over below the goal line. Azarini top of the near circle. Backhanded down again for Herman. Icepack taking their time on this power play, down to 37 seconds as it's deflected into the near corner. Arini battling there with Simon Malone. Malone wins the battle, clears it up and out. Here goes Henry Foster again. This time it'll be Zach Mangle walking in shorthanded. Looking to the middle, thought he might have had someone trailing and didn't. That'll leave a chance here for NC State, running out of time on the power play. Just 15 seconds left. North Carolina collects. Again, it's Mangle. He'll backhand it deep. That should finish off the man advantage. As NC State working with it back in that far corner.
Good penalty kill by the Tar Heels there. Had a couple short-handed opportunities. Not able to cash in on one, though. Still down 2 goals. We'll see what they can do 5-on-5.
They're going to get an offensive zone face-off here as well. Stretch pass intended, as you see there, for Colby Bilodeau. And he was unable to connect, so the face-off to the right side of Isaac Toyer. O'Shaughnessy and Herman to take the draw. And it's O'Shaughnessy with the win. Quick shot off the face-off. Knocked down and sticked aside by Isaac Toyer. Tar Heels still with some pressure. It's Saboden turning with it high slot. Gonna hold it. Leaves it off there for Maggin. Quick shot through traffic. Didn't get all the way through. And there's a gimpy Wolfpack defenseman headed back to the bench who got hit with that shot. Now O'Shaughnessy collects in his own end. Looks rink wide, has a man there. It'll be carried forward by Kozowski, trying to step in. Good stick work from McEnany, who knocks it loose. Icepack back on the attack. Bresingham steps around one man, backhands it on goal. Hughes is going to cover it up and hold on for the face-off with 10:34 to go.
Nice job by Bresingham getting around the initial defender, but a backhanded shot weak on the short side of Hughes. He's not going to let that one slip by. You're going to have to elevate that puck a little bit, get him moving. He wasn't moving on that one, so he's not going to let it slip.
Bilodeau and Walsh on the draw. Tar Heels, Walsh wins it. Miglior throws it off the glass, can't clear. Bresingham steals it away. His shot deflected high off the glass behind the net. He's the first to it. Bresingham dispossessed. Up the far wall, it's Friedman. Backhands it out to the far side for Mahan. He's going to lug it in. Looking to the high slot, stolen away by Bressingham. He'll send it out into neutral ice. Again, UNC regrouping. Kick to the far side by Walsh. Friedman will steer it deep. NC State first to it, though. Broken out up the near side. Bressingham. No help, so he just sends it to the North Carolina defense. Gives his team some time to come in and support. Florian Zajic in control. Little chip pass there from Friedman, elevated it over everybody and all the way down. It will be icing on North Carolina. I think if you're NC State here, Joey, this is kind of, you don't want to give up that goal, obviously, but they've done a pretty good job of just kind of sucking the energy out of this game and kind of just bleeding things down here.
Yeah, absolutely, and partial credit has to go to the crowd here supporting NC State. Yes, there are some UNC Tar Heel fans here, but they're being drowned out by the amount of NC State Icepack fans that showed out today. We actually got a preliminary number thrown around at us between the last intermission. 22,000 people. 24,000 people.
Don't sell them short.
I won't sell them short. 24,000 people showed up at this game. We don't know records, but you'd have to think that's getting close to an ACHA record.
And you get a look at the crowd. It's thinned out a little bit since the Icepack took over, but well into the upper level on both sides. And we were hearing, estimates of about 15,000 people in attendance tonight, and they've blown those numbers away. You couldn't have asked for a much better outcome here in terms of fan support if you're either of these two teams. It's been a great atmosphere, and if you're looking for a good hockey game, hopefully the Tar Heels get one more here and make it really interesting in the final 10 minutes.
And just for comparison, the game that we had here the other night, the game why the ice is here, the Capitals and the Hurricanes had 57,000. 24,000 showed up to a club hockey game. That's absolutely incredible. The fan show out was just amazing tonight.
So you're talking about 40% of the building or the stadium here full for this hockey game. Very impressive for a club hockey game. Icepack looking to seal the deal here in the second half of this third period. They'll go to work. Robinson over to the far side circle. It's Alex Robinson getting the shot away. It was blocked to the side. Another chance. Zach Robinson can't get it to go. Alex looking to steer it in front and can't. Pinching down, it's Ricky Frosch to send it behind the net. Finds Alex Robinson again. Looking out in front off the skate of a teammate. That was Emery Oliver who had the chance. And now the Tar Heels can break it out. They need a change, though, so they send it deep and go off on that change.
Emery Oliver was just drifting in the zone unguarded and got a lucky pass out to him. Could have put that one home, but the Tar Heel defense recovers quickly.
Here's Zach Herman. Might be the first star of the night to this point. He'll get it into the corner. 5-man scrum ensues, and it's Wheeler coming away with it for North Carolina. Lifts a bouncing puck out into neutral ice. A little bit of trouble there for NC State handling it. And now the Tar Heels move in. Swatted towards the net. Steered away by Toyer. Leighton Walsh looking out in front. That pass denied. Over on the far wall, Icepack move it up and out. Herman turning on the Jets. Takes it in. And the shot trickles through, and able to squeeze it was Joel Hughes. Now we're going to get some extracurriculars. That's a big no-no from Chase Williams. Kind of poked the puck into the net after the whistle. You knew the Tar Heels were going to take exception to that.
Well, he is the rookie on the Icepack, so maybe he hadn't got that memo before. But yeah, big no-no. The referee blows the whistle, you skate away. Chase Williams did it was harmless, but you don't do that. And the teammates are going to stick up for the goalie, and that's what they did. He gave Chase Williams a nice shove, and he goes to the bench. But the crowd loved it.
7:33 to go. Icepack win the offensive zone draw. Near corner, Arini cycles it up to the point. Quick shot coming, deflected in. I don't know if it hit Miller or the North Carolina defenseman. Looks like Miller will lead the way. It was deflected in, and the Icepack back up by 3.
Yeah, nice job by the Icepack here. Miller just getting into the dirty areas. You see him pass it up to Garrett Arini originally. and he just gets in front of a Tar Heel defender, gets his stick out in a good position to be able to redirect that into a place Hughes couldn't reach, and that puts the Icepack up 3 now with just 7:25 left.
A lot of work to do for North Carolina. Looked like they were making some progress. That has been reset. Tar Heels go to work on the forecheck, though. O'Shaughnessy over there with O'Hear. Be able to keep the zone. And that's Saboden who will send it deep. O'Shaughnessy fighting for it in the corner with Miller and Hugo. He'll win that battle. Back to Malone at the blue line, just able to hold the line. Tar Heels get it deep. One-timer fanned on. Chance up at the high slot. That one's blocked in front. Nice job by Malone to glove down the clearance and hold the zone once again. Lifted over to the far side. That pass intercepted. Marini going after it. O'Shaughnessy first to it. He'll send it deep for North Carolina. NC State working it up the wall and out. Chipped along. Marini can't get to it. Kozowski sends it to the middle. Saboden will collect the loose puck and force it into the offensive zone. Good work by the Icepack. They'll close it off on the near side. Sending it deep. Zajic in that corner near side. They work for it. It's 3-on-1 in favor of the Tar Heels down there. And a good work by Victor Hugo, still in control. Eventually dispossessed. Quick shot out in front. O'Shaughnessy couldn't beat Toyer. And NC State clears once again. This is going to have enough juice. Oh, not quite enough juice to be considered icing. And so play continues. Tar Heels struggling to break it out of the defensive zone.
The Tar Heels just look tired out there on the ice and a little demoralized after that NC State goal as well. With just over 5 minutes remaining, they have to get one in now.
Yeah, they just can't get the bounces. Bressingham led forward. Here's the breakaway, and he scores!
Gotta love Drew Bressingham's celebrations. He deserves that one. We'll take a look at the replay here. Just a careless turnover by Walsh. Moves forward for Bressingham. He goes glove side on Hughes. Slips it right under him. Throws up the Wolfies, and that puts the Icepack up 4.
The Tar Heels now in a position down when they were down 5-2. We're really in a position, you got to force the issue. You got to put pressure on. You got to take risks, and unfortunately it can create turnovers and opportunities like that. And if there's one thing NC State has done really, really well tonight, it is capitalizing on turnovers.
Absolutely. Opportunities for the Icepack have been capital.
The point for the Tar Heels doesn't go. And now NC State moves it back in. Yeah, the Tar Heels just don't seem to have the juice here. And NC State has taken advantage. And this is certainly the biggest stage that these two teams have played on, Joey, but if you're the Icepack here, you love the way this game is going. You don't want to give too much motivation to this Tar Heel team going into that game this weekend at regionals.
Absolutely. There still is a game that actually matters between these two teams when they travel up to the DC area to take each other on in regionals. So it's definitely going to be carrying a chip on their shoulders. The Tar Heels walk out of Frozen Finley.
They'll move it forward. A good chance there for the Tar Heels was tied up. They're able to force it back in. Quick shot. Gloved by Toyer. He'll hold on. Mackay Ashford with that chance. But Toyer, for all the talk we did about the goaltenders and how they would do coming off the bench and being cold, for the most part, they've done a pretty good job. In fact, only 3 of the 8 goals have come from those 3 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Toyer putting on a show on the NC State side. Joel Hughes had one slip by him, but, you know, overall, he's played pretty well as well.
Down to the final 4 minutes of outdoor hockey here in Raleigh. It has been one heck of a weekend for local hockey, and there's certainly, I think, something to be said and a conversation to be had about hockey in this area. We're starting to see the support grow. You have 24,000 people for an outdoor college hockey game, and you start to wonder, and the question has been asked this weekend, when do you see it reach the NCAA Division I level here? Herman looking for the hattie, there it is! Hughes had trouble with another deflection, and Zach Herman with the exclamation point for the Icepack.
I see one hat that made it onto the ice. I think it came from the Icepack bench, though. But we'll take a look at the replay here. Herman lost it in his skates initially, passed it for Carabinos, and then just the rebound off of Hughes. Couldn't collect it. It wasn't even really that great of a shot by Herman, but just off the glove, unable to collect the rebound, and Herman's going to walk out of here with a hat trick.
Yeah, a bit of an unexpected shot there for Hughes to handle that one hat you saw. Came off the head of the head coach.
There you go.
Tim Healy threw the hat on the ice. Much deserved for Zach Herman. 7-2 NC State running away from North Carolina.
NC State put up a touchdown and an extra point in this game. Very fitting for Carter-Finley.
See what North Carolina has for these final few minutes. Can they at least answer back with one? They had made it 4-2. It's been a very streaky game, at least in terms of goal scoring for this NC State team. They went down early 1-0, scored 4 straight. Then an early goal here in this third period for North Carolina, and then 3 more in a row for NC State. Wraparound try from O'Shaughnessy, sealed off on the post by Toyer. They'll close it down for another face-off with 2:51 to go.
NC State has done a great job at rebounding from mistakes and goals from the Tar Heels. Even that first goal that was scored by the Tar Heels, the Icepack came back in less than a minute and tied it up, and then just went on a 4-goal streak after that.
Boy, and talking to both of these teams, and especially in my conversations with head coach Tim Healy of the Icepack throughout the course of this season series between these two teams, he has felt, especially over the last few games, really since the semester turned around, he's felt really confident against this Tar Heel team. He's felt like even in their loss on senior night, they outplayed North Carolina, and Joel Hughes kind of stole the show and helped North Carolina to a 3-1 victory. But you're starting to see the fruits of their labors here for NC State. And, you know, we were talking before this game started, you weren't really expecting to see NC State earlier on in the season. Weren't expecting to see them at regionals. Now they're one of the hottest teams headed up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, NC State was a totally different team the first half of their season. They didn't even have a winning record until after the Christmas break. And now they're battling UNC here at the Stadium Series, and we'll meet them next week at regional. So they've just come back from adversity, and just awesome to see this team succeed.
Down to 150 left in this game. The final bit of outdoor hockey here in Raleigh to close out the weekend. NC State with a dominant performance over the North Carolina Tar Heels. Tar Heels still looking for something to hang their hat on late in the game. NC State in control. Going to be steered up that near boards. And back into neutral ice. Another attack for the Tar Heels going to be thwarted. Good extra support though. Shot and a save made by Toyer. Was able to get enough to direct it wide. Battle in the near corner ensues. Collecting now, Colby Bilodeau. Squirts out in front, they score. Sam Ives. Just the second Tar Heel to score tonight. Other two went to Dano here, but Ives, a little bit of a muted celebration. I'm sure it's cool to score outdoors. He would have liked to see it be a little bit more meaningful though.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just a failed rebound attempt by Toyer, just squirted out to Ives, just in front of the crease. And, you know, like you said, it's nice to have one in a stage like this, but at this point in the game where it's pretty certain that your team has already lost, the celebration is going to be a little nullified.
Kai Ashford sends it deep for the Tar Heels. North Carolina going to pressure this one. Ashford looking to the middle. Off the skate of Emery Oliver. He'll skate it behind the net and make it up and out. Looking for Robinson. That one was off the mark. UNC steers it back in. Lifted all the way down by the Icepack. This one's going to go the length of the ice for icing. And it'll come all the way back down. Well, you almost want to lobby the NHL if next week when these two teams meet again, if NC State wins, the season series will be 3-3. Can we keep the ice a little longer in case we need a Game 7?
You know, it's very, very expensive for the NHL to keep that ice back. Yeah. I don't know. When it's about to hit 70, 80 degrees here later this week, it's going to run up the power bill for sure.
Quick chance on the near side for North Carolina. O'Here's shut down by Toyer once again.
So barring a goal scored in the next 33 seconds, a very fitting end to this game. 7-3, a football score here in Carter-Finley. NC State would beat the Tar Heels by, they'd score a touchdown, an extra point. Tar Heels have a field goal.
Down to the last 33.8. Offensive zone draw for North Carolina. They'll control at the blue line. Sent deep, but not all that deep. It'll be directed back out into the neutral zone. O'Shaughnessy forcing his way in. Here's a chance for the Tar Heels late. Out in the middle, unable to go skate to stick, was Ashford. O'Shaughnessy back to work. Dispossessed. NC State will move it out. Down to 10 seconds left. You hear the crowd giving this Icepack squad their appreciation in what was an impressive performance from the boys in black. The clock will hit 0, and that will finish it off. A dominant performance from the Icepack, and Joey, another win for the team wearing black.
Nice confidence builder going into next weekend versus the Tar Heels, but you got to think the Tar Heels are going to be carrying this chip on their shoulder, not even for regionals, but for a long time. We don't know when the next time the ice is going to be out here at Carter-Finley, but I would have to assume it's not going to be for a long while. So this game is going to go down in history for both of these schools and both of these programs, and it was a good one for the Icepack.
Yeah, it was an excellent performance from NC State. Unfortunately for North Carolina, probably not the performance they wanted, but a 7-3 win, and as you mentioned, Joey, a fitting score for Carter-Finley Stadium. We're going to step aside. We'll wrap things up when we come back here at Carter-Finley Stadium, the final of Frozen Finley. NC State 7, North Carolina 3.
What's up, Icepack fans? I'm here with Zach Herman. You had the hat trick tonight. What do you credit your success to in this game, Zach?
That was a team game. You really can't put it on any one point. You know, unfortunately, they've had our number a couple of times this season. But, I mean, you 25,000 people at home, you can't lose this one. The boys never had a doubt about this one, and just got to keep it rolling into regionals.
And this was just a huge event with a lot of just excitement leading up to it. What was kind of your vibe and like your team's excitement heading into this game, and how important is this 7-3 win tonight for your team?
Yeah, I mean, this was for the campus, for the school. This was awesome. Obviously appreciate everybody that came out tonight. You know, we hope to see you next time, right? Next year when we're back at home. But you know, this was just a great weekend for the university, for Raleigh. I mean, it was a blast.
All right, thank you, Zach, and go enjoy this one.
Welcome back to Frozen Finley, one final time here. Leaving here with you, a 7-3 victory for the NC State Icepack. And Chris, what are your final game takeaways here?
Well, I think it was a great performance from NC State first and foremost. They did a nice job bouncing back from that goal 18 seconds in. Good start for North Carolina. Unfortunately, they didn't have the energy to go the whole way, but I think that the real story is what we've looked at out here. Now, there aren't quite as many fans as we had seen, but 24,000 in attendance, close to 50% of this stadium filled. I don't think anybody expected that. So to see this kind of support for this level of hockey and what this community just over the course of this weekend has shown is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Piggybacking off of that, you know, we just witnessed an ACHA college hockey game outdoors. You mentioned 24,000 people. What does this mean for college hockey in the future for NC State and UNC?
Well, that's the big question for these schools now. You see the support. Question is, does it translate to enough for them to move to the next level? I certainly think it's a great push. It's great progress for hockey in this area, and you're going to continue to see it grow. I've talked with head coach Jeff Volkman of the Tar Heels, as well as NC State's head coach Tim Healy, about, you know, the local youth hockey, and especially a quote that sticks out to me from head coach Tim Healy when I was at Wake Competition Center during a week of junior games, and he talked about about the fact that you look at this NC State roster a while back, you saw more names from up north, in New York, in Massachusetts, up in that area. Now, 90%, if not more, of that NC State roster, and even when you look down the North Carolina roster, there are a lot of guys from North Carolina. You're seeing great talent being bred here. We were able to put it on display on one of the biggest stages that is out here for hockey, especially for college hockey. So to see it develop and see it be showcased this weekend for everybody to see has been amazing.
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible. The atmosphere here for the Canes game, for the alumni game earlier, for this game, it was just incredible. But we have to look past this game because a big matchup for both of these teams next weekend at Regionals. Tar Heels will take on the Icepack for what seems like the 100th time so far this season. What are we looking for going into that game?
It's not the 100th time. I've lost count. They played so much, and that's the one thing that makes next weekend really, really interesting. I think if you're NC State, you love the fact that you can kind of hold this over North Carolina's head. They've got that Final Four win over Duke. They can hold over the head for a long time, right? NC State hockey now has that over North Carolina hockey. The question is, what does that do to next weekend? You know, NC State's got the confidence. They've won the last two. They've really kind of controlled the last two games for the most part as well. But if you're North Carolina, you got a lot to play for. You were up 3-0 in the series after 3 games. You lost the last 2. You don't want to go out on the wrong note.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for us here at Carter-Finley Stadium. Frozen Finley, a final score of 7-3 in Icepack victory. I'm Joey B. and Cody alongside Chris Lehman and